When I saw this, I honestly didn't believe it. Vuju Style YouTube has absolutely mastered Master Yi. He's the top one leaderboard on Master Yi by far, as you can see. So let's just take a look at his account, right? So he has a 74% win rate on Master Yi on 400 LP Challenger. He's like 400 LP Challenger. And this is not a screenshot. Let's just take a look at his history, right? Just take a look at this. Take a look at this. When he loses, he gets SVP. Just look at this. How crazy is this? This is Challenger ranked. Like, just take a look at one random thing. He is Challenger, as you can see. He's getting into these Challenger matches, and he's absolutely dominating every single game on Master Yi. So, he also has a YouTube channel, and I'm gonna, you can skip to the gameplay, by the way. There's timestamps in the description. And guys, he literally has a YouTube channel, and he only uploads Master Yi videos. I'll put a link to it in the description, and he'll be in the pinned comment as well. Check him out. If you want to see top-notch Master Yi gameplay, link in the description. So now let's take a look at how to build Master Yi. So the thing that made Master Yi completely and utterly broken is the new items, obviously. He also got buffs, but it's especially the Navori's Quick Blade. You always want to build Navori's first item 100% of your games. I still see some people start with Blade of the Rune King. Oh my god, never ever start with Blade of the Rune King on Master Yi. Always start with the Navori's Quick Blade. But let me tell you something. This is not where your power spike is. Like, this is you're still weak when you have the Navori's Quick Blade. This is where the real power spike comes, guys. The Solaris Charge Blade. See, the thing is, these two items both give you an insane amount of ability haste. It's 40 ability haste, and just the thing is, like, it perfectly synergizes with Master Yi, with the first ability, because it's going to reduce the cooldown of all of your abilities, especially your first ability. You're really going to get a very low cooldown on your first ability after these two items. And lower cooldown allows you to spam it more often. Spamming more abilities more often means you're going to get that bonus damage from the Solaris Charge Blade more often, right? Do you guys get it? Like, it all works together like that. So for the boots, you want to go for Mercury Threads. Vuju told me that Mercury Threads is the best because, CC is obviously the major weakness to Master Yi, guys. You really want to get the Mercury Threads. Like, I used to go for Glutinous Greaves, but it's really unnecessary, honestly. Like, the Mercury Threads just dodge the CC. But more on the tips on how to dodge the CC during the gameplay part. I have so much to say about all of that. And for the enchantment, Vuju goes for Teleport Boots. The thing is, with Teleport, you can like farm your jungle or be in the Baron lane, and then suddenly, boom, go to the Dragon lane. And he really likes that on Master Yi, and honestly, I kind of agree with it. It's actually kind of good to be able to just teleport around in the map. You don't really need any other enchantment. Like Stasis, you don't need it. You have your first ability. Locket, this is a thing that I sometimes go on Master Yi, because what Locket allows you to do on Master Yi when you're diving, it's like an extra barrier, right? Locket is actually really good on Master Yi if you feel like you won't utilize the teleport. So you either want to go for teleport or you want to go for Locket. Honestly, these are the only things you can go for. QSS possible, if you're against an Ashe or like a Senna or something like that. Well, no, not Senna. You can easily dodge Senna's route, but if you're against an Ashe and you get like stunned by her ultimate, you can just QSS out of it. But Locket or Teleport are honestly better. So for your third item here, it gets interesting. I used to go for Infinity Edge, but Vuju told me it's not necessary to go for an Infinity Edge. You already have enough damage with these two items. Here you kind of want to get the sustainability of the Guardian Angel, because it gives you 40 armor, it gives you attack damage, and the Guardian Angel, of course. And the thing is, see, let me tell you why this is especially good on Master Yi. When the enemy procs your Guardian Angel, you're gonna be on the ground for like 3 seconds. What does this mean? You're gonna get your first ability again. You're gonna get your first ability off cooldown again, so you can continue the fight. And that's why Guardian Angel is incredibly powerful on Master Yi, guys. You can literally continue the fight because, you're gonna be on the ground for 3 seconds, reviving, and in these 3 seconds, you're gonna have your first ability again. So for your fourth item, it's situational. Does the enemy have tanky champions, like very beefy champions with a lot of HP, like Malphite, Mundo, Alistar, Braum, Galio, champions like that? Then you go for the Blade of the Rune King fourth item, because Blade of the Rune King is going to allow you to do a lot of bonus damage equal to their max HP, their current HP, sorry. If the enemy is squishy, boom, you just go for the Bloodthirster. And you know, you go for either item. You go for Blade Rune King. If you go for Blade Rune King 4th, you go for the Bloodthirster last. If you go for the Bloodthirster 4th, you go for the Blade Rune King last. So for your runes, always Conqueror. Don't even think about any other rune. You always go for Conqueror. And for your second rune, Brutal, because you always want to go for Brutal in the jungle because it allows you to clear the jungle faster. For your third rune, Hunter Titan, because you really need that tenacity. As I said, the only weakness really to Master Yi, well, I mean, his early game is a weakness, and CC. So you can kill the CC weakness with Hunter Titan and Mercury's threats together. And for your fourth rune, Hunter Genius. I mean, you can also go for Pathfinder. This is a thing that I really like on Master Yi, but Hunter Genius is really going to contribute to your ability haste, right? Like, it's going to make your cooldowns even lower. So this one is going to be stronger in the late game. But in the early game, Pathfinder is actually very useful. But Hunter Genius is what Vuju goes for. So for the spells, Smite, I mean, of course Smite. But here he goes for Barrier. And let me tell you guys something. I've also tried Barrier on Master Yi. And let me tell you that if you're a noob Master Yi, you definitely need to go for Flash. But if you get the hang of Master Yi a little bit, like if you're getting a bit better at him, Barrier is definitely better. So like, what Barrier is going to allow you to do, it gives you sustainability. And now, especially in the late game, like, you're going to be so hard to kill. And with the Barrier, you're going to be even harder to kill. And that's kind of the point of the Barrier, guys. You don't need a flash. You already have enough movement speed with your ultimate. You can easily catch up to any enemy, very easily. So the Barrier is going to allow you to have more sustainability, and which is going to allow you to stay alive longer and deal more damage. So, enough about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. As you can see, rank 1 Master Yi. Unbelievable, honestly unbelievable. It's just so insane. Like, I honestly didn't believe my eyes when I saw it at first. 74% win rate. Master Yi, 450 LP challenger. He's number 7 on the leaderboards, by the way. Only by playing Master Yi. Like, what? What? But okay. Let's now talk about how to play Master Yi, right? And by the way, I want to remind you that there's a lot of tips and tricks in the pinned comment of this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, he has a YouTube channel as well, like full Master Yi videos, only Master Yi videos. It's incredible. So, what was I gonna say? The first tip is, and this is actually quite important. It may seem like a little thing, but it already starts here at 20 seconds into the game. You don't want to randomly use your first ability, guys. Like, this is a thing that many people just do, right? Like, you're farming on Master Yi and you just boom, throw your first ability. No. In your jungle, you throw your first ability before a minion hits you or a jungle camp hits you. Like, when the red buff wants to hit you, you know, it goes like boom, and then before it hits you, you dodge it, boom, with your first ability. So let me tell you why this is very important. If you do it 2 or 3 times in a row, you're going to be taking a lot less damage. What is going to happen then? You're going to be way healthier in your jungle. Like, as you can see, Vuju's style is actually quite healthy right now because he actually dodged he dodged attacks with his first ability. And with Master Yi, it's actually really good to do like a full clear like this. But let me tell you guys one thing. There is a big danger when playing Master Yi because he's super weak in the early game. And Vuju also told me this. Master Yi is really weak in the early game. And what's going to happen in higher elo especially is if the enemy has a jungler like Kha'Zix or Lee Sin, they're going to invade you and your blue buff. When this happens, there's 2 things that you can do. First of all, if your teammates rotate, like if your top laner rotates or your mid laner, you fight, right? Like, you can take the fight and go for it. Second thing you do, if they don't rotate, you just leave. You really cannot do anything. Like, you lose against anyone in the early game. So instead of, like, if you get invaded like that and your teammates do not help you, you just leave it. You know, it's really all you can do. You just leave it. You try to go to the other side, try to take the scuttle crap on the other side. You know, you just want to farm. And I want to say something else as well, which Vuju told me as well, is you really want to tell your team to just play passively in the early game. And he did this in the draft already. He just told his team, guys, play passive, play passive, play passive. He really told them to just play passively. And this is actually very important on Master Yi because you're useless in the early game. Up until level 5, you're like pretty much useless. You're not going to be able to do anything because your cooldowns are high. You do not have your ultimate. You just don't have anything. So here you can see like the first 3 minutes of the game has only been farming. You can see that the Annie is getting tilted because she kind of wants a gank. But You just wanna farm and farm and farm. Just keep farming, keep taking your jungle. Like, this is the perfect scenario right now. It's 0-0 and he's just farming. And the thing is, like, it's not always gonna be this easy though. Some, like, the enemy jungler is gonna be ganking your lanes, so you are gonna be losing that. Here you can see, you know, you tell your team. So some lanes are gonna be getting killed. That's kind of the problem. Now, what Wuju told me against this is, as a Master Yi, you're actually really weak at ganking, especially because he doesn't have a flash. But let me tell you how you can actually counter this. So he told me what's really powerful is if you counter gank. Now, what do I mean with this? Counter ganking is waiting until an enemy jungler ganks a lane and then you counter gank that same lane. This is obviously really hard to predict. Like, it's really hard to do. And the way that you can basically do it is, first of all, outsmart the enemy jungler. But to make it easier, you can put wards. Like, put wards, and if you see that, like, look, enemy Kha'Zix is in the top side of the map, you know he's not here. So let's take a look at, he's gonna try to gank here, possibly. But if you counter gank, what I mean with that is, if the enemy Kha'Zix, for example, ganks the bot lane, what you do is you follow up and then you counter gank. Like, while he's ganking the lane, you gank the lane back with your ultimate, and that's how you can still get kills in the early game. But ganking alone, not really. Like, you can see, he hasn't ganked any lane in 5 minutes of the game. Oh, here he could have actually dodged the Nami ultimate, which would have been pretty useful. Oh no, he failed it. He failed the flash. But it's fine though. Look, this is the thing with Master Yi. Let's not talk about how you should team fight with Master Yi, because there is basically a way on how you can completely wipe the enemy in team fights. It's the same as Katarina. Master Yi is basically the new Katarina. So as a Master Yi, you never want to be the initiator. Never, ever. You always want to wait for your team to initiate the fight. So you let your team engage, and then after your team is engaged, you go in. And let me tell you, there's different reasons why this is basically the way that you want to play. First of all, you don't want to take any damage, right? Like, let your team soak up all the initial damage and then you engage. Secondly, the enemy is going to be low, so you can pick up vulnerable targets to kill. Like, after your team engaged, you want to look for a vulnerable target that's already low. For example, enemy ADC who's at 50% HP. You can pretty much one-shot them, right? So that's what you want to look for. And the third reason it's good to wait is because the enemy is going to be using some major CC abilities before you engage, right? So for example, Malphite is going to waste his ultimate on your team. Nami is going to use her ultimate. Just look at this. Like, look at how crazy it is. When you get a kill, you're going to wipe the entire team. That's basically the rule with Master Yi. If you can get a single kill in a team fight, just one kill, you're gonna go ham. As I said, it's like Katarina. You're gonna be killing every single one of them, because the amount of damage that you're gonna be dealing is absolutely broken. And combined with an Avoris Quick Plate, you're literally gonna be able to spam your first ability. So now let's talk about utilizing your first ability in team fights, because there is a very important thing about this as well. Contrary to popular beliefs, you don't want to spam your first ability. I mean, you want to use it as often as you can in team fights, but you want to time it correctly as well, guys. And there is minor outplays that you can do and major outplays that you can do. Let's first talk about the minor outplays. For example, you can dodge tiny little abilities like Malphite's first ability, Jinx's second ability, Nami's bubble, Nami's ultimate. See, these are abilities that are pretty easy to dodge, right? You can dodge them with your first ability, and you really want to do that. Like, you really want to utilize that first ability to dodge abilities like that. And now let's talk about the major outplays. And this is things like Malphite ultimate, Garen's ultimate, Darius ultimate. You can dodge those things as well, and this is absolutely amazing. This is so powerful. And oh my god, if you dodge those things, you pretty much won the fight. Like, if you do not get CC'd in team fights, you will win. So as a Master Yi, you really want to focus on dodging CC and avoiding CC. So you avoid CC by not being the initiator in a fight, and you dodge CC with your first ability, guys. These are things that you have to master on Master Yi. These are really the big things on Master Yi, guys. So let's talk about the second ability, because there's actually many uses of this ability too. So let's say you engage in a team fight and you've used all your abilities, but the enemy is not dead yet. What do you do then? You use your second ability. You literally use your second ability to just soak up damage, because your second ability gives you like 70% damage reduction or something like that, and it heals you up. What does that mean? That you're going to become incredibly tanky. It's basically like Alistar's ultimate, right? Where he gets like an insane amount of damage reduction. So when you did your full combo in a team fight and you don't have anything else and you're gonna die if you don't do anything, use your second ability. Just use it and soak up damage. You're gonna be able to buy time, and while you're in your second ability, you're gonna be recharging your first ability, and then when you get that one again, you continue. Do you guys get the point here? You never want to be walking around in a team fight without your first ability, because that's where you're gonna die. That's where Master Yi's die, guys. Let's take a look at this. He engages, he goes on a vulnerable target on Lucian. You saw there, it was a free kill, and when you get a single kill, as I said, the team fight is over. You won the team fight already, especially with your ultimate, because your ultimate is gonna get reset as well. So with Master Yi, you're going to be looking forward to the 2-item spike. I told you guys earlier as well, it's all about the 2-item power spike, guys. When you get those 2 items, that's where it starts. That's where the playstyle changes. That's where you can actually take those team fights. Before 2 items, you just want to farm. Take minions, take jungles, take everything. You just want to take every single thing on the map. And about the second ability too, second ability is actually a basic attack reset. You can use it incredibly fast after a basic attack and then basic attack again. So basic attack, second ability, basic attack. If you do that, you actually cancel your basic attack and you're gonna get another stack of the Solaris Charge Blade, and you know, you're gonna be able to basic attack super fast. And with Master Yi, it's actually really good to team fight at objectives, at Dragon, Baron and Rift Herald. Why, you may think? Why? I'm actually gonna ask you guys to test your knowledge at this one. Why am I telling you guys right now that it's generally gonna be better to fight when the enemy is either like trying to take the Baron or the Dragon? Why? Put it in the comments. This is test your knowledge, put it in your comments. You know, while I'm saying this, I'm doing a skin giveaway anyways, giving away 10 skins on YouTube. All you gotta do to enter is put down a comment. And on Instagram, I'm giving away 5 skins on Instagram as well. All you gotta do to enter is put down a comment on there. Instagram posts, right? So if you're still writing your comment, pause the video right now. So the reason that it's better to fight a Dragon, Baron and things like that is because the enemy is going to be busy with the Dragon or the Baron, right? Like there's going to be a lot happening. Enemies are not going to be as focused on taking you on as they are on the Dragon. So while they're attacking the Dragon, you know, they're going to be busy with that. That's where you can go in and go into their squishy target, because they're gonna be panicking super hard, because while the Dragon is at like 2,000-3,000 HP, there is a Master Yi hard diving their backline, right? Like it's just better. I mean, it's not a major advantage, of course, but it's just better. So if you can, look for those fights. Because, you know, normally 5 versus 5s are not the best for Master Yi, because like here you can see, if you get focused down like this, you're really screwed. Like you're really screwed and you just die. You know, you really can't do anything. Master Yi is generally better in 2 versus 2 situations, or if you can catch out an enemy before a 5 versus 5. Those are the things that Master Yi is good at. He's not good at like initiating a 5 versus 5, as you can see here. You know, we took this gameplay because this gameplay also has some mistakes. You can see the mistakes of Master Yi. And about first Dragon, it's actually okay to just give up the first Dragon when you play Master Yi, because you know, Master Yi, as I said, is a late game champion. You don't want to force yourself with those early game fights. Look, like his team is really throwing here. You don't want to be forcing things like that. If the enemy is just way stronger than you, just leave the Dragon. Go for the Rift Herald instead, because if they do the Dragon, you do the Rift Herald. Ask your Baron laner to help you, and you know, just do the Rift Herald. That's it. Oh, here he goes in with the teleport. Oh, he stole it. He gets the reset on his skill, and now like it's over. It's over. Oh, it's not over. Wow. I mean, he still got 2 kills. He did a lot in that team fight, but you can still see that you're quite vulnerable in a 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4 situation. Because if all of the enemies focus you, You are squishy as a Master Yi, guys. And this is, as I said, why you need your teammates as a distraction, right? This is why you need your teammates as a distraction. There's literally a fly. No, it's not a fly. It's a mosquito. Sorry. There's a mosquito flying around my face all the time. Man, I'm gonna be playing some Master Yi as well after this video. This is insane. Like, this guy literally has a 74% Master Yi win rate. How the hell do you even do that, man? In Challenger rank, he's the number 7 on the leaderboard. It's actually unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. Well, let's take a look at this fight. So the Annie went in, which was obviously a big mistake. But like, let's just take a look at how he's gonna take this fight. They're taking the dragon. He needs to wait for his Renekton and Alistar to engage. He doesn't want to be the initiator. Ooh, here he took some unnecessary damage. So here's Alistar goes in. Renekton goes in, and that's when he wants to go in. But he screwed up by, like, look, let me tell you how he screwed up in this fight. He should have waited. He should have waited because the enemies were burning their major CC abilities there. They were burning the Nami CC. They were burning the cannon CC. He should have waited until that CC was burned, and then he should have gone in. That's what ultimately lost them the fight here. He needs to wait for that CC, and then he needs to go in. That's when he can completely clean them up, because he deals so much damage. He deals an incredible amount of damage. It's just that he's very squishy, of course, and he has a guy trolling in his team. You know, the Annie is literally trolling, which is really annoying. But he has perfect champions to initiate, which is, as I said, the Alistar and the Renekton. He just needs to wait for them to go in. All he needs to do. Then he can completely carry the game. And this is what Yi can do. Even if you're losing the game, if you just farm up and play it correctly, you can still win games. And that, you know, that's how you can completely hard carry games anyways, even if you're still losing. And Master Yi is actually the only jungler that can really do this. As I said, Master Yi is basically the new Katarina. He can win whenever, you know, he can, even when you reach the late game, he can hard carry the games as long as you get that one reset. It's all about that one reset. That's what you're looking for. You have to focus on the right things, guys. That's the thing with Master Yi. You just have to focus. He got that reset here, and Lucian is right there. He goes on the Lucian, and he gets another kill. Like, this is what you need. And his Guardian Angel got procced, but he killed their main target. He got a 1,300 gold thingy. Ooh, Alistar initiates. Nami wastes her CC. Oh, but you can see yet again, this is how you die on Master Yi. But they got kills. Look at this. They killed 4 of the enemies. They could just end the game. They can literally end the game. They won the game by catching out an enemy, and then he killed the Lucian as well. But he died because of the big CC. But you can see the only way that you can die is the big CC abilities, and you want to be avoiding those. They literally won the game. It's insane. He just hard carried this game. I chose to not show you guys an absolute stomp, because I felt like that would be boring. I wanted to show you guys a game like this, where even the best Master Yi player in the game still makes some mistakes, because I felt like it's really good to see. Let's take a look at how much. Look at this. 422 LP with plus 10, minus 20 MMR. What? What? How is that possible, man? This guy is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Like, this is incredible. Because I have like 200 LP right now with this stupid gains, and it's insanely hard to climb because you have to win like 66% of the matches. Oh, that was it for the video, yeah. So yeah, guys, that was it for the video. Again, guys, check out his channel. You know, he makes Master Yi videos, very, very nice videos. It's really entertaining to watch. So thank you guys very much for watching, and yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.